What is happening, good people? I'm here with my buddy Lawrence Portnoy. Performance floors and coatings, absolutely killing the game. So those of you listening, maybe you're a long time listener to this podcast, came on. What was it? About a year ago now, the first time we spoke, right?
About that, yeah, that's about right.
Business breakthrough. Then you told a little bit of your story of growth, which I think at that point you had gotten to 3 crews full time in coatings, which is very difficult to do. That's sometimes what, 15 jobs a week?
About that, yeah, 15 jobs a week.
12 to 15 sometimes, right? How's the business
Yep.
going now, man? Tell me how things have been going.
It's pretty good, man. We're at, 3, 4 crews right now. We have the capacity for 4, but, depending on the jobs, kind of stick with 3.
Yeah, it's good.
It's been pretty steady.
What have you
Been
what have
pretty
you learned over
steady.
the past year in terms of optimizing the business? Because you went from, just really having like one crew. I think you've gotten a salesperson. So walk me through like what you've done, man, to really optimize and some of the mindset shifts you had to make.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think in the past year, our focus has really gone to focusing on our people, and developing the right people in the right places. You got only a certain amount of time in every single day, right? So that time's got to be dispersed in other ways, right? And everyone that you hire, you want them to want to grow with you, right? So it's about hiring the right people, and getting those right people into the right positions and getting them to grow. I think, when you can only handle a certain amount in a day and you kind of shift your mindset to, I don't know everything, right? Hire people that, kind of can run that operation and find gaps in the processes and fill them themselves, right? Ultimately, they're creating a good foundation for themselves as well as the business. And, when we win, when one person wins, everybody wins. It's almost like, when we have tough times, everybody has tough times in the business, but when we're doing well, everybody does well.
How did you find your salesperson? That's usually a question I get a lot. Is like, how do you begin the process of outsourcing sales?
So one of them I actually knew. He was a referral, somebody, he's a reference referral, somebody that I knew, and I thought that was a good strategic move, and the relationship was kind of already there. He wasn't really a salesperson, but I kind of saw that potential in him. So we tweaked around some of the stuff that he does, and over the last couple of months, we've been taking a look at his metrics, and his closing ratio has been getting better and better. The other one was someone that applied from Indeed. They didn't really even have sales experience, but he had coatings experience as an installer.
Hmm.
So halfway, he already knew the concept and setting expectations with customers. So, you know, that part was already easy. It was kind of just focusing the shift on training him on the actual sales process.
Bold move,
So,
but
yeah,
I think there's I think there's value in having a technical individual doing estimates too that can explain the technical side of things, right?
I think so. I think, when someone knows the processes and, a lot of the times, if you have a good system in place, you kind of show up to the customer's house and, your job isn't even to sell at that point. It's just setting expectation and kind of telling the customer what the process is going to be. People like that a lot better from what we've seen rather than like someone coming out hardcore selling
Yeah.
someone.
I always say you got to keep the hustle in your back pocket if you need it, but once you get to a point where you're like your business is flowing, it's more so let's out educate, let's outperform.
Right.
That's pretty good. How are you keeping your salespeople motivated? So you have 2 salespeople now, responsible.
We have 2 salespeople. Yep.
Okay, full time sales. Do they need to self
Full
generate
time
their own
sales.
lead, or is it all inbound
No.
leads?
So it's all inbound. Once an appointment request comes in, obviously, office disperses them to uh, whatever salesperson, whatever area it is, and they take that and they have their calendar up, and every single day they got their quotes. Our structure is it's pretty aggressive. It's more of a performance pay.
Okay.
They are commission, but it's a healthy commission along with a bonus plan, right? So hypothetically, if they sell 100,000, they get an extra $1,000 bonus. If they sell 150,000, they get an extra $2,000 bonus.
Is
Now,
that
if they
hard for
sell
you to
combined,
outline, or did you already have a
sorry.
roadmap? Was that hard for you to outline in the beginning, or did you already have a roadmap that you followed to help you with that?
A little bit of both. I think I kind of, got some opinions together and then put something together for us that works based on our numbers. Um, but they also have a combined bonus too, right? Because in sales, you never want to have one guy that's like, oh, I'm getting all the leads, or this guy's getting all the leads. Their bonuses are accumulated as well, where if they both hit a certain number, say 250,000 for that month or 300,000 for that month, they both get a
Nice. So
combined
smart.
payout. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. What is your role in the business now? What are you up to nowadays?
I'm still doing some scheduling, some estimating, going out on quotes, just, checking
Really?
up
Do
and
you
trying
feel
to.
like why? So let me ask you that. Why? Like, do you feel like that takes away from your salespeople?
No, because the area, right? So we have
Okay.
one in a certain county, in Pinellas County, Hillsborough County, and then I'm on the other side. So if it's
So
something
you'll hit
comes in,
that
it's
one.
closer to me. Correct. Yeah. But ultimately, right now it's hiring, it's focusing on the people that we have, it's going on a couple quotes, it's helping scheduling, it's creating new systems, processes, um, vendor relationships, I gotta say.
Yeah. What do you,
But
so what? How about the production? How have you maintained great production? Now, are you're employees, right?
yeah, we're all W-2 based, yeah.
Okay, love it.
Um,
And how's that been?
so it's kind of hard wearing the hat of, managing production as well, but we took the guy that, we felt was the lead that we felt was the best fit as a production manager and promoted him as a full-time production manager, taking him out of installs every single day and actually having him
Love
oversee
that.
all of that.
You
Yeah.
probably love
Yeah, absolutely. But ultimately, his job is, making sure that production is not losing on what sales has sold, and
it. Yeah.
maintaining the business uh, to be profitable.
Right. How many grinders do you have?
We have about
It's about 50 G's.
five grinders.
Are they
Way more than
everything
that.
grinders?
Yeah.
Way more than
No,
that.
I'd say they're about 20,000 a piece.
No
15 to
way.
20,000 a piece.
They're the big boys.
Yeah, yeah, they're the big boys. Oh yeah.
You finance
Um,
them?
we do. Yeah, we
Interesting.
finance the grinders, trucks, trailers, and I got to say, in this year we spent a lot of money on just getting things kind of try to pay off.
Yeah.
Getting the heavy equipment taken care of and all that to the side
Yeah.
to be able to focus on the next piece.
Smart. Smart. I mean, I think, and I wanted to highlight that because in the coding space, dude, it's a hard business. Like, don't ever think that if you scale an epoxy coating company that this is any easier than anything else. It's actually way harder. Um, you have to go deep. You have to go 100K in to keep the machines running, and you have maintenance on these machines. But that's the qualification of entry to do it the right way. Would do you have the guys bring the trailers home? Do you have a shop? What does that look like?
So we have a shop that we got last year. It's
Okay.
about 1,1300 square feet. So we
Nice.
keep the trucks and trailers all there. And the
Yeah.
production manager, he goes between the shop and there's a little office in there.
Yeah.
He helps scheduling jobs and going out from place to place. He does a lot of the maintenance on the equipment as well.
Nice. Nice, dude. The big. So, what problems have you ran into?
Oh, we got a ton of problems. Uh,
Yeah, we can't just talk about the good stuff. I love
yeah, they got a
it.
ton of problems.
What's going on?
I think our biggest issue is, in coatings industry, it's something that, it's a high ticket item, right? For,
Yeah.
one day install, right?
Yeah.
The problem is if you make a mistake or something kind of falls off the way it's supposed to, it is very, very costly. Not only do you lose your profit per job, but you're in the negative often, right? To save $50 or something like that in this industry costs a lot more. So I think our biggest hurdle is coming up with better systems and processes to avoid callbacks, avoid mishaps on jobs, and basically not run into issues that could be easily avoided.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have an active problem going on right now that's like occupying way too much of your headspace and you're working through it?
Um, we do actually. I'd say, little things like cleanup, right, when the job is done. Because now you got to go out there the next day, it takes away from the job the next day. Um, Getting
Is
flakes a little
that
bit on
crew
somebody's
error?
driveway.
Was
I'm
that
sorry.
was that was that crew error on that, or was that just natural cleanup of a job that you can't clean it unless you go back?
It's something that could be that the crew can not have to do if we were kind of avoiding, if we had better systems and processes from the top
Right.
down to
Can I offer a
not
suggestion?
have. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I had the same issue, and with ours, there's things that our guy, our guys left behind. They would leave the hose on. They would leave the hose not wrapped up. They would use the customer's hose, which is not one of our SOPs anymore. That used to be the case. Um, Tape, trash, little things around the house, big gulp cups, So there's now in Company Cam. How often do you use the checklist feature in Company Cam?
We just actually got company cam dialed in not too long ago.
Okay, so the checklist feature's super good because we create an end of job checklist that goes on every job. And here's an example of what I have on there. Are the front lights fastened and installed properly? Take a picture of it in order to check it off. You can't check it off unless there's a picture to go with it. One of the best features of the app. And we do that now. And we also have this, which you should, if you don't already have it, this is great. I can actually show you mine. It's an end of job checklist that the customer has to sign. Now, I used to be against this. I'd be like, nah, they give us the verbal. Brother, let me tell you something, man. When you see that signature on there, you're like, boom, they're happy, they're satisfied, and the customer is agreeing that the job site is clean. It says, is the job site clean of debris and trash? Initial. And if it's not, do you think the guy in charge of the job is going to hand them that? No. So these are some things that I've went through. I went through the same thing. I don't know if you have any of these in place, but man, good investment. Good
Yeah,
investment.
no, absolutely. I'd love to see that, man. I think it's certainly
Yeah.
help us out a lot.
Yeah, definitely. So hurdles, man, because I know that if you have to repair one of these floors, it's not just an easy like repair. You have to grind it down. Have you dealt with a lot of repairs or a lot of failure? And what's your protocol in that?
Uh, I wouldn't say floor's failing. I say, we follow the process all the time, and it's not, any callbacks that we get is, I'd say, generally in the first 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
It's something that maybe we missed a small spot. Maybe it's a touch up. Maybe we're missing a little bit of the top coat somewhere. Um, so it's not really floors failing, but whatever the issue is, I mean, we send out, our crew communicate through Slack, and
Yeah.
somebody goes out there, whether it's a production manager or the crew.
So 2 years or a year ago, I mean, you've scaled pretty quick. It didn't take much for you to turn the corner here. I have a lot of guys that are just starting out to listen to this. Obviously, the heart of the podcast is startup and learning, and like, dude, it wasn't me, okay? But what was the shift for you? And like when you look back and think about what you were thinking about then, what was the biggest roadblock to really like hyper growing? And that's why I love bringing you back and love talking to you, is because like you went from like one crew and just kind of figuring it out and like, man, should I go to that second crew? Like, and then I got three within such a short amount of time. What were you thinking back then? And like, what made the big difference for you?
Uh, the biggest roadblock to scaling, I think, is the fear of the unknown, right? What if this doesn't happen? What if I hire the wrong person? They give me, this person gets you a bad review. What if it doesn't work out? What if I buy all this equipment and something goes wrong and the floors don't come out right? What if, I lose money on floors? What if I spend extra money on marketing and it doesn't work, right? If you just take that shift of what if it doesn't and say, I'm going to make it work, or let's find a way to make it work, right? You're going to get a lot ahead. It's really all in your head a lot of times. I mean, we have other goals lined up, and, I still tell myself the same exact thing, like just take that leap of faith, just do it, try it, know your numbers. If it's about, know how much you need to spend to get that other crew, uh, you know, ready to go marketing wise. It's more of taking calculated risks, right?
Yeah.
That the result would be there based on the numbers.
Love it. So calculated risk, learning from decision making, and just I also mentioned this. I think the reality is that it's risky being in business, so you might as well double down on it. Keep taking risks. Keep improving, refining. What's an area in your business that you're struggling in?
Um, I'd say area that we are struggling in right now is, I want to say callbacks, right?
Yeah, that's the
Because,
big
yeah, that's a big one. After we expand and kind of, we have
check it
three,
as complete. Move that thing to complete. It's
checklist
like,
is
oh,
complete. Yeah,
dude, you're
it's,
moving so
yeah,
fast forward, right?
yeah,
Callbacks. And again, like you said, those callbacks are just minor things that you have to allocate resources to, and it's like you're already maybe on such a tight schedule. Like painting business, I can go into the next day if I need to, right? Coding business, there's no tomorrow. It needs to be done today, right?
correct.
Is
Yeah,
that true?
yeah.
There's no.
It is very true, yes. So if you have a callback right now, you're trying to re-engineer the schedule and seeing who works up on what days and trying to move
Have
things
you
around.
considered have you considered incentivizing a callback team on a Saturday, or do you guys naturally work Saturdays?
So no, we don't work. We try not to work Saturdays. I mean, installing a lot of square footage in a week. Coatings are very, very, not taking away anything from painting because painting is very hard labor intensive as well. But coatings, you know, 5 days per week grinding floors and putting down coats. Working 6 days really takes a toll sometimes. But I'd say what we done recently was put out a callback bonus, right? That gets split between the crew. That if theirs is under 10% every single month, right, then they get a bonus there. We
Nice.
also
There you
incentivize
go.
the pay plan a little bit to be more of a performance pay, right, where people get paid by square footage.
Okay.
And
Smart.
it works a little bit differently because, when you hire the right people, you get people that want to take full advantage of that. People are coming in the morning, they want to take the bigger jobs. People want to take the jobs with more square footage, but they understand that callbacks are more their responsibilities. Um, but, an incentivized pay plan where, you can make more money exponentially really works out when you have the right people.
I love that. You know what's cool, man? It's like you're doing so well as a CEO to be able to identify these things and implement processes and change. Like these problems really weren't a big deal last year. Now they are, and you're in a position where you can solve them efficiently and provide incentives and track things. And like that's kind of the key here is like, man, it's like the problems like every time you advance another level in business, you need to be prepared to absorb, you know, the excess, man, those callbacks, the additional costs, the headaches, more people to manage. Love it, man. Love it. So where do you see yourself this time next year, man? Where do you see performance floors and coatings? I think you told me, and I'm sorry I missed this, but don't you have another branch operating
We
right
do,
now?
yeah. We
What
have a location in Palm Beach.
in Palm Beach?
In Palm
So
Beach,
tell me
yeah.
how did this happen? How has it been? It's so far away from you, 3 hours probably, I think. 3 hours.
About that, yeah. It's 3
What
hours
happened?
away. So we
How did it,
have,
how did it happen? Tell me this. I want to know.
so we're focused on, the next goal is, creating the right systems and processes through training, through, documentation of SOPs and be able to franchise, right? That's kind of the next step or long-term goal, I want to say. So we have a location in Palm Beach that someone that, we know personally that wanted to get into coatings that we're operating
Yeah.
as a license agreement. So it's all legal, but ultimately convert that into a franchise when the time's right. And they're just basically piggybacking off of what we're doing.
Right. So someone you could trust,
Someone we could trust. Yeah.
someone you could trust to where the first iteration of this franchise thing is the last thing you need to worry about is production and management. That's good. Um, is it weird for you managing a location with your brand so far away, virtually?
Um, I'd say, they're managing it themselves fully, right? We're kind of just there for help and support and, you know, consult. And, the way we work is we get a small percentage of, the revenue. Um, but ultimately, my job in that is to make sure that we're on the same softwares, we're on the same systems and processes, and we're doing things basically identically to what we're doing here,
Yeah.
and duplicating that system down there.
Did you see yourself here a year ago with this situation you
No,
have
not at
now?
all. No, no.
Yeah. What's your background?
Or sales.
Did we talk about that? We
Yeah,
might
yeah,
have.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, car sales, man. But you're like me, man. We're not like the greasy guys. We're we
Right.
got in and got out, right?
You got in, you got out at the right time, and kind of
Yeah.
use your sales skills. That's it.
Yeah. Great training. Great sales training. I
Very,
can't take it.
yeah.
Spent a lot of money. Toyota really, really put a lot of money out. Lawrence, bro, always a pleasure. Thank you, man. Good luck on the journey. Thanks for giving me your time today. I know you're busy, and I want to emphasize how much, from the perspective of someone that coached you or had the opportunity to coach you, I'm proud of you, man. You're killing it. You're really killing it, dude. Congrats. You're going to
Tanner,
be all
thanks a
over.
lot for having me, man. Appreciate all your
Wait,
help here.
waiting for the Ocala location.
I got you. Thanks for your help again, man. Awesome being
All
here.
right,
Thank you.
man.